coaching, healing sessions, and are wondering why you don't see a change in your life, here's why. The goal of any kind of facilitation is to see a change in your mental, emotional, or physical life. Whether it's mental health issues, money, relationships, your body, or your self-image. You want to see a shift. You want to be able to say, hey, I was here and now I'm here. And there are times when the process of healing doesn't really go as planned. You may be conned, you may be unaware, or you may just simply not be willing to be vulnerable. There's a number of reasons that could cause therapy to go wrong. But before you decide that inner work is not for you because you've had bad experiences, let me now shed some light on why it could go wrong. You have to be mindful of these if you really want to change your life. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the words therapist, healer, and facilitator interchangeably, but I don't mean that either of these mean the same thing. It's just for ease of communication. So the first one. When your therapist, healer, or facilitator does not empower you, what does empowerment look like? In any moment, when you are empowered, you are given a choice. You are not dictated. You are encouraged to make decisions based on your knowing, being, perceiving, and receiving. It makes you feel stronger about yourself. You don't feel victimized when you're empowered. The therapist never chooses for you, never puts words in your mouth, never puts words to your questions. When you ask, okay, in this situation, what am I supposed to do? The therapist will not answer that. They will ask you a question for that in order for you to reach the answer by yourself. Secondly, when you're not being vulnerable with yourself. For example, you might go in to meet a facilitator and you want to work on your issues with men. So you might think you have a problem with men, but in reality, you just want to validate your mother's reality with men and prove her right. Now, obviously, the facilitator may know this about you, but if you're not willing to accept this yourself, you're not going to see a change in your life. 3 is when you're forced to go to therapy. Does that really happen? Yes, it does. I've seen this so many times. I've had so many clients who've come to me just because their parents have forced them to come to me, and it's not worked out well for anyone. You could have a spouse, friend, or family member forcing you to change yourself when sometimes you may not be ready for it. In that case, it's their issue, honestly, as they're not in total allowance of you and where you're at. And they don't let you have the free will choice to choose what's best for you. If you know someone who you think requires help, be a generative space for them, but do not force them to go to therapy. You may think you're doing it for their own good, but healing never occurs without the receiver's free will choice. Never. 4. If the root of the issue is not tackled and you're only working on symptoms. Now, if this happens, you're wasting years of your time working on a problem when actually what you think that is the problem isn't even the problem. What a waste. 5 is when you're not committed to you, when you're committed to mediocrity, when you're okay with living in the stifled state of being, when you're okay with just having the 4 walls of your worldview and don't care about the infinite possibilities beyond your worldview. Committing to always choosing greater for you is the only way you're going to see change. How many back doors do you have open that just give you the ease to escape when things get slightly uncomfortable? Remember, change might not always be comfortable. And who said growth was ever going to be comfortable? You have to be willing to make that choice and step out of your comfort zone. 6 is when your therapist purposely drags the session in order to charge you more money. This could also be the nature of the modality where you require multiple sessions to feel any kind of change. And I've seen this often in clinical therapy models. Now, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but why would you waste time if you could just cut through the bullshit and achieve your result in 1 or 2 sessions? So you always want to find a therapist or facilitator who's going to help you get to the result in the least amount of time, and someone who's always honest with you, not someone who cons you for your money, not someone who drags a session time or makes you come in for multiple sessions just to make money off of you. And a good way to choose a therapist or facilitator who is honest and who is in that integrity is to use the tool of light and heavy. So when you find someone that you might want to work with, you want to ask, okay, if I choose to work with this person, what will my life look like in 5 years? And then get a sense of light and heavy in your body. So as soon as you ask that question, what will my life look like in 5 years if I choose to work with this person? Immediately, you will energetically get a sense of a contraction or an expansion. So, if you feel light and expansive, that means that this person is going to contribute to your well-being. So you might want to work with them. But if you feel contracted and heavy, then it's not true for you and you don't want to work with that person. And you always want to trust your knowing. No therapist, no facilitator is greater than you or your knowing. And using the tool of light and heavy helps you look past someone's certifications. Now, someone might have multiple PhDs in whatever profession that they're in, but if they don't have these basic frameworks down, then working with them is not going to be a contribution to your life. So you want to go beyond your logical mind and you just want to use the tool of light and heavy. So please ask this question before you work with someone. If I choose to work with this person, what will my life look like in 5 years from now? In 1 year from now? In 3 months from now? And if in any of these questions you get a sense of lightness, then go ahead and work with that person. So I really hope this helps, because I've always wanted to clear the air on what is the best way to achieve the result that you want in the least amount of time and get the maximum amount of value for your money.